So some reflections on the fourth quarter 2018, unless you were living out of the country or on vacation or under something, you might have known the stock market had a downward correction in the fourth quarter. It created enough conversation that I have a couple of videos, which will be my final comments on it, reflecting on that fourth quarter. I begin with a quote. You can perhaps, as I'm saying the quote, guess who might have said this. It starts out like this: "We do not have, never have had, and never will have an opinion about where the stock market, interest rates, or business activity will be a year from now." That was uttered by Warren Buffett, the world's most admired, least imitated investor, in his annual letter to shareholders 30 years ago this month, February of 1989. So back in February of 1989, the S&P 500 stood at 288. At the close of the year in 2018, December 31st, it closed at 2,507. That's fairly close to 9 times where it was on the day of Buffett's letter, and that ignores dividends. Speaking of dividends, the dividend for 1989 was $11.73. For the full year 2018, it was at $53.61, which is a full 4.5 times growth in the dividends. So 9 times growth on the prices, 4.5 times on the dividends. To get a good sense of how this compares to inflation, the consumer price index during that same 30 years did just a little bit more than a doubling. This is important to learn because there's been all sorts of volatile events over those 30 years. They get lost in time. The fourth quarter of 2018 was just another one, and it'll get lost in time. So always the message is not timing the market, but time in the market. Part 2 of this is coming out pretty soon, and in part 2 we have absolute evidence that a lot of people timed this market. Talk to you soon.